Welcome ESL to week 7 in the 1987 series. As Justice Blackwell, week 6 winner, is getting ready to turn his first lap at Watkins Glen. Blackwell already has 2 wins on the season. Can he make it 3? So Blackwell's currently tied for 5th in points as Trunnion comes into week 7 as your points leader. He's got a 16-point lead over Watkins. It is a tight battle, 1 through 5. They're only separated by 23 points in the standings. As he goes around the final turn, what type of lap time could he put together? And it is Devontae Wilkins with the fastest lap, 1:16.512. And Gunny in second, Grims in third. And Trunnion, his first lap, he was in 7th on the board. Can anyone improve on that time? But this would be big if Wilkins can stay on top of the leaderboard in qualifying. As he is second in points. As he goes around turn 6 and turn 7, the final turn. Will this time hold for Wilkins? As he crosses the line. And no one moves positions on the board, as everyone's first lap was the fastest. And Devontae Wilkins wins the pole at Watkins Glen in week 7. In second is Gunny McGuire. Third, Tyler Gribbs. Fourth, Morningstar. Fifth, AJ Stryker. Sixth, Stephen Waters. Seventh, your points leader, Trunnion. Eighth, Isabella Ramon. Ninth, Bob Harlow. And rounding out your top 10 is the number 6 of Thomas Noble. We will see what Wilkins can do. He hasn't won yet this season. It's today he can get onto victory lane. It's today the day for the 033. We are about to find out as the championship race is heating up. I'll be back in a few minutes for the start of the race. And we are back and getting ready to get week 7 underway. What type of what type of start to the race will we have? The pit window is probably between 20 to 30 laps, roughly. Pit stops will be important today, especially the type of strategy that some of these pit crew chiefs use. These crew chiefs use. Can Watkins get a good jump off the line? That's the 68 Gunny. He is last season's champion, so you can never count him out. He usually has some good speed on road courses. We'll see what he can do today as we round the last turn to get week 7 underway. The pit car goes onto pit road. And we are underway in week 7 at Watkins Glen. And Wilkins quickly gets in front of Gunny. We see the 52. He moves up to 3rd. AJ Stryker in 5th. There is Trunnion, your points leader, in 6th. We'll see how these cars do in the chicane. Everyone seems to get by without too many issues. As we go a little farther back in the field, there's CJ Slava currently in 12th. As we complete our first lap around. Now, can Wilkins pull away from the 68 of Gunny? There's Tyler Grims in that 52. He's had some good races this season. He's got a win, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Currently sitting in 15th in points. So he definitely needs a good finish today. He doesn't want to fall too far behind, as he is currently 58 points back from your points leader. There's AJ Stryker in 4th. Morningstar in 5th. And behind him is Trunnion. There's not much room for error for the 47. He only has a 16-point lead coming into today's race. But he has been very consistent. He has 1 win, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 2 poles. Isabella Ramon in 7th. But no one is pulling away Everyone is keeping it close. And Bob Harlow with the fastest lap in the race. Everyone is pretty much single file. Eric Belmont has moved up 7 positions, currently in 14th. We will see if he can keep that momentum going. We'll take a look at your top 5 in points and where they at in the race. And Trunyan, currently your points leader, sitting in 6th. Devontae Wilkins, he's your leader, currently 2nd in points. Eric Belmont, 3rd in points, currently 14th. Freddie Trammell, he's 4th in points, currently 16th. And Justice Blackwell, currently tied for 5th in points, riding in 17th. And Dougie Zoom, also tied 5th in points, currently in 23rd. But Wilkins, about half a second lead on Gunny. Can he continue to build on that lead? In this race, you know, teams can get some data off of this race because we're coming back to Watkins Glen in a few weeks in week 10. So depending on how you do this race, then you can figure out, you know, what adjustments you need to make so when you come back to this track, you do a little better. As we will have one more big progression window before we come back to this track. And now the lead is 7/10 on Gunny. And Grims is still in 3rd. AJ Stryker in 4th. This is a battle for 26. Randy Pierce and Braden Goddard were going at it. And there's Ricky, the number 8, currently in 29th. Tyler Rogalowski in 18th. He is currently tied for 10th in points. As we go back to your leader, Devontae Wilkins. As we look at his lap times, and he hasn't been gaining on his lap times. He's been getting slower as we go. So tire wear is definitely going to play a role here. Let's look at Gunny McGuire's lap times. As you can see, he had one good lap out of the last 4. We'll see this lap time as we cross the line. So you can see these drivers are going to continue to lose time as these tires continue to wear down. Some laps, as you can see, lap 6 for Devontae Wilkins. He lost 0.5 of a second. But he is maintaining that gap between him and Gunny. That's all you have to do. As that lead is still about a half second. And Bob Harlow still with the fastest lap in the race. But I think pit stops is going to be key at the Glen here. Who makes the right moves? Do you take a gamble? You pit early? Do you stay out? Try to stretch your fuel? Some of those decisions will determine the outcome of this race. And the track is at 112 degrees, which is pretty warm, and there is some cloud cover in some parts of the track. There's Nolan Pierce up 4 positions. Currently in 15th. But everyone is pretty much single file. There's Nelly. He has lost the most positions. He has lost 5 positions, currently 21st. And Devontae Wilkins is extending his lead now. So he seems to be getting a little faster the deeper we get into this run. As he goes through the chicane without any problems. 0.8 of a second is his lead over the number 68. As we cross the start-finish line, as we have completed 10 laps so far, so we're looking at about maybe another 10 to 15 before drivers will start considering coming in. to put on tires or fuel and get fuel. There's AJ Stryker still in fourth. Right behind her is Morningstar. Let's ride on board the number 9 for one lap. AJ Stryker doing a good job behind that wheel. She is currently 2 seconds back. And something to keep an eye out for is there's a little group of cars back here. That's Randy Cassidy, currently last, running in last. Right ahead of him is Zach Holdorf as they are going around turn 7. And the leader is going around turn 5. So they're only they're not too far ahead, about a few turns. Eventually, they're going to catch this group of cars, and that might cause some issues. Later on during the race, we will see. Devontae Wilkins still in the lead. About a second lead now over Gunny. Let's do a rundown of your top 20 as Devontae Wilkins, he is your leader. Gunny McGuire is in second. Tyler Grims in third. AJ Stryker in fourth. Morningstar in fifth. Trunnion, your points leader, in sixth. Isabella Ramon in seventh. Stephen Waters in eighth. Bob Harlow in ninth. Thomas Noble in 10th. Chris Harvey in 11th. Lizzie McGlover in 12th. CJ Slava in 13th. Eric Belmont in 14th, up 7 spots. And Nolan Pierce, 15th. Freddie Trammell in 16th. As you see, Justice Blackwell trying to battle him. Gets very wide. Blackwell almost loses control. But Freddie Trammell 16th. Tyler Rogalowski in 17th. Yodi Logic in 18th. Justice Blackwell, he got wide there in that turn, lost a few spots. Now he's in 19th. He is definitely struggling, probably needs some tires. And rounding out your top 20 is a number 18, Nelly Selly. So there's a few cars starting to struggle as tire wear is coming into play. But we are starting to get closer to pit stops. Will anyone take a gamble? It's Jody Logic currently in 17th. There's Blackwell, he gained a few spots back. There's Trey Smith. This is a battle for 26. The pit window is going to be around 20 to 30 laps. The Watkins lead is 1.3 seconds over Gunny McGuire. Right behind him is Tyler Grims. There's a few gaps in between. Like we're starting to spread out here. The top 5 are starting to spread out. There's Justice Blackwell. He's trying to battle back. He's trying to get some positions back that he lost earlier. This is for 17th. As he's side by side heading into the chicane. And he cannot get past Yodi. Which was probably the smart thing to do. You don't want to go side by side in the chicane. A lot of bad things can happen. But Watkins continues to cruise up front. Gunny's doing everything he can to not let him get too far ahead. If he can keep that, that lead within a second, you can make that up in a pit stop or, just putting together a few, some better lap times. But you don't want that lead to balloon up to like 2 seconds. There's your points leader, the number 47 of Trunnion. Still in 6th, but he is content of where he's at. Because he's been consistent all season, and that's all you have to do to try to win a championship. He's only had one race all season long where he finished out of the top 10, which was at Bristol. So his worst finish is 13th, and that was at Bristol. So it shows how consistent the 47 is. As now we have a car on pit road, and that's Braden Goddard. So now that he came in, will other drivers start coming in, and will they turn this into a 2-stop race? We'll see how long he stays on pit road. Is this a scheduled stop, or did he have some damage, or something happened to that car? And it looks like it's a scheduled stop for the 038. We'll see if anyone comes in, and here comes everyone. So 20 laps is the number here. So we're going to have 2 stops in this race. Now it's going to be a race out of pit road. And was it a smart move by Braden coming in 1 lap earlier? Can Wilkins get off of pit road quick? His pit crew team needs to not make any mistakes here, because he's been having a solid race. Who will come out of pit road first? And Wilkins peels off, and Grims comes out second, gains a spot. Trunnion gains a spot. And Gunny lost a few positions there. Coming out of pit road. Tyler Grims came out second. And Trunnion came out third. Great stops by those teams. But Gunny's team did not have a great stop. He lost 2 positions down to 4th. AJ Stryker, she lost a few positions. So it seems like some Brew Crew cars, their pit crews were having some problems on that stop. But there will be one more stop in this race. Look at Lizzie McGlover. She's up 7 positions in the top 10. She had a great pit stop. As we look at these pit stops times, AJ Stryker 57 seconds, Gunny 57 seconds. The average stop was between 53 and 54 seconds. So they were about 3 seconds slower than everyone else. So now they have to make up that ground that they lost on pit road. There is Tyler Grims. Having a great run today. Doing what he needs to do. If he can get a top 3 finish here, man, that'll be a big for him. He would love to get another win this season. Watkins. Now you look ahead of Watkins. I've talked about this earlier about the traffic, that they might catch some traffic, and there it is. So now Watkins has to deal with this traffic, and there's quite a few cars he's gonna have to deal with here. It's about 5 cars, and they just had their pit stop, so he's gonna have to try to pass these cars as best as he can. You see that traffic right there. This could open up the door for Tyler Grims to gain some ground here. Especially if Watkins catches this traffic at a bad part of the track. He's going to struggle to get by. Well, he's going to catch this car at the chicane here. He has to get by this car in a hurry because Grims is closing that gap quick. He gets a little wide going around the turn. Grims is right there. Grims almost lost it there. Grims knows this might be his chance to try to take this lead here. This might be his only chance. There's 2 more cars ahead of Watkins. As Holdorf gets very wide in the turn, and that helps Watkins get right by him. And now the 52 has to deal with Holdorf. He doesn't want to stay behind this car too long. Now he goes to the inside. They're going to be side by side in the chicane. Now Watkins has to get by the 503. It's going to get a little more difficult to make these passes later on. So right now, their tires are still pretty fresh here. So they could be a little more aggressive on these passes. So Watkins is going to have to deal with 3 more cars eventually. But let's do a rundown of your top 10 after that first round of pit stops. We have Watkins in first. Grims in second. Trunnion in third. He's got all types of traffic ahead of him. He's trying to get by Holdorf. There's Gunny in fourth. Morningstar in fifth. Thomas Noble in sixth. Chris Harvey in seventh. AJ Stryker in eighth. David Waters in 9th. Solid run by him today. And Lizzie McGlover rounds out your top 10. And behind her is Bob Harlow and Eric Belmont. As Morningstar makes a pass here. He's trying to pass Gunny. This is for 4th. Gunny not trying to lose another position. He's trying to hold on. As Thomas Noble trying to make a pass too. Gunny very loose on that turn. Loses another spot. As he is down to 6 after he was 2nd for most of the race. And there's Strunion in 3rd. Morningstar saw an opening. He almost took it. There's Wilkins. He just got by another car, another lap traffic here. Now Tyler Grims has to get by the 510. Doesn't want to lose too much ground to the 033 here. But he caught that 510 in a bad spot. And he finally gets by. He had to be a little extra aggressive there. But he cannot lose too much time to Wilkins. And Wilkins has to deal with 2 more cars. And Grims is 2 seconds back from Wilkins. Now the 501 is ahead of him. And Wilkins gets very loose there. He almost clipped. He almost got clipped there. Tyler Grims is 1.7 seconds back, but now he has to deal with these 2 lapped cars. He needs to get by these cars as quick as possible. As we go around turn 6 and 7. Grims has to make the pass here in the front stretch. Cannot continue wasting time. As he is 2 seconds back. And Grims is struggling getting by the 501. He needs to make this pass, as this lead is almost ballooned up to 3 seconds here. Grims in the outside finally gets by the 501. But that definitely hurt. He lost some ground there. Now we'll see if he can make up any ground here. as we have a battle for fourth. And that was Noble. He passed Morningstar. And look at Eric Belmont up 10 positions from the start of the race. Currently in 11th. Having a solid run, considering he didn't qualify well. But he's made the most of it. He's currently third in points, so he needs to continue to try to climb through the field. He don't want to lose too much ground to the points leaders. And now Tyler Grims is almost 3.5 seconds back from Wilkins. And we're probably another 10 laps away from the next round of pit stops. Or can anyone stretch that fuel? And there's Thomas Noble. He gets by the 47. It looks like the 47 got wide on that turn, in that first turn. It opened the door for the number 6, and he took advantage. And now, behind Trunnion is Morningstar. Trunnion don't want to lose another position. Gunny in 6, holding steady. And behind Gunny is Chris Harvey in 7th. The driver that has lost the most positions is Justice Blackwell. He has lost 9 positions, as he is right behind Dougie Zoom. And Stephen Waters just lost a bunch of positions in turn 1, down to 12th. These drivers have to deal with this traffic as well. That 501 causing all types of problems. Everyone trying to get by the 501. He is causing all types of chaos back here. Everyone finally got by him. Levante Wilkins in control of this one so far. Still about a 3.5 second lead. Does Gribbs have anything left in those tires to make up any type of ground? After Gribbs, it's Thomas Noble, and he is 10 seconds back from the leader. The top two are long gone. Morning Star in fifth. Gunny trying to see if he can make up a few positions here. Still plenty of time left to try to make something happen. But let's enjoy the sights and sound of Watkins Glen for one lap. Devontae Wilkins. Still a 3.6 second lead. No traffic to worry about, as now we have a pass for 10th here. Bob Harlow. Bob Harlow in 10th. Tyler Gribbs in second. Let's look at his lap times these last few laps. He has been losing some speed. Not too much, though. As you can see the graph, his lap times are pretty consistent. There, he was 0.3 faster. He was 0.3 of a second faster that last lap from his previous lap. But we look at Wilkins, and look at that graph. He was 1/10 faster in lap 35, 2/10 faster in lap 36. So he is very consistent right now with his lap times. As Steven Waters, he makes a pass. This was for 13th. Or no, maybe it was Nolan Pierce that made a pass. But we are getting very close to the second round of pit stops. Does anyone come in early? We saw Braden Goddard. He came in early the last time. It didn't help him gain any ground, really. He was lap 24. And speaking of Goddard, here he comes onto pit road. He's going to do the same strategy once again. I mean, he has nothing to lose. He is 24th right now. We'll see how fast his stop is going to be. Average stop is about 53 seconds. And this looks like more of a, maybe it was a splash and go. We'll see when he crosses that line. So 43 seconds. So that was definitely, it seemed like it was a splash and go. And here comes Wilkins. It's going to be a race between Wilkins and Tyler. Even though Tyler's about 3 seconds back, we'll see. Does everyone do a splash and go here? Not take on any tires, or maybe just take on 2 tires? And here we go. Everyone's on pit road. Devontae crosses the line. About 43 seconds. Man, Grims had a 4-second slower stop than Wilkins. That definitely hurts. And now he has to deal with a little traffic here. This is going to hurt even more. Because Wilkins came out ahead of the traffic. And Grims came out behind 2 cars. It's going to be tough sledding for the 52 now. And there's the 510. He spun out. The 510 has spun out. Will this trigger a caution? I don't think it will. He is off the racing line. If this triggers a caution, it changes everything. He is still off the racing surface. And there he goes, trying to get back. And he just resets and goes to the pits. Let's try to see what happened to that 510. He tries to be aggressive in the inside. He makes contact with the 24 and just spins out. And now he is in the pits. It didn't trigger the caution. That would have changed everything. There's a few more cars on pit road. There's Chris Webber. Some say Trey Smith, Mike Mello. All these drivers are on pit road. As he gets back onto the road course, onto the course. But Devontae Wilkins took advantage of that last pit stop. His pit stop was 3 seconds faster than Tyler Grimm's. So his lead doubled 6.7 seconds. And Tyler Grimm's got by that traffic, but he has his work cut out for him with 10 laps to go. And we have a few more cars on pit road here. As you see, Zach Holdorf, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt, Nick Leap. All these drivers are coming out of pit road. Now that the second round of pit stops are over, let's go through your top 15. It's Devontae Wilkins in first, leading the way. Tyler Grimm's in second. Thomas Noble in third. Great run by him, up 7 positions. Gunny in fourth. He gained a few spots back. Chris Harvey in fifth. Morningstar in sixth. AJ Stryker in seventh. Trunnion with not a great stop. Currently in eighth. Lizzie in ninth. Bob Harlow in 10th. Eric Belmont in 11th. He definitely salvaged his day. I mean, he's had bad qualifying, qualified around 21st. So this is a solid run considering he had a bad qualifying run. CJ Slava in 12th. Nolan Pierce in 13th. Freddie Trammell in 14th. And Yodi Logic rounds out your top 15. Right behind him is Stephen Waters in 16th and Isabella in 17th. But the man of the hour is Devontae Wilkins. As we seeing a few passes going on, Morningstar got by AJ Stryker. And there's the 47. He might lose another spot. He's currently in 8th. There's Lizzie in the inside trying to take a spot away from the 47. But she cannot get by him. That 47 got very loose coming out that last turn. But here is Devontae Wilkins with over a 7-second lead. So it's smooth sailing for the 033. But he's going to have to deal with the 502. before this race is over, he's going to have to deal with this car. And you can see Wilkins in the background. You see Wilkins coming out of the last turn. And we still have 8 laps to go. So Wilkins is going to have to deal with him. If he can get by that lapped car without any issues, he should be okay the rest of the way. Because right now, Tyler Grims is still 7 seconds back. .3 second lead. Then it's Thomas Noble in third, followed by Gunny McGuire in fourth. These drivers are 16 seconds behind the leader. As we have 5 laps to go at Watkins Glen. And now you see the lapped car in the picture here. And there's another one ahead of that lapped car, which I think it's the 009, but I don't think he's going to catch him before this race is over. But he's going to have to deal with the 502 here. And in that last pit stop, it didn't seem like they took on tires. So we'll see how much trouble he has getting by the 502. As we round the last turn, he might catch him on this front stretch, which should be an easy pass for the 033. And they almost make contact there. But he got by him without any issues. And puts him in the rear view. And there's the 52 way off in the distance. 7.3 seconds. Either way, he had a great run, regardless if he does not get the win. A heck of a run by the 52. This is going to help him immensely in the standings. He needed a race like this today for sure to still have a shot at this championship. You know, he's only down 61 points, and we still have 6 races to go. It might seem like a lot, but it really isn't. A lot of things can happen. Thomas Noble with a great run. Gunny as well. Regardless if he had his issues on pit road, he still did pretty well today. He's going to get a top 5. Morningstar in 5th. As we go back to your leader, Devontae Wilkins. He is in total control. On tap for tomorrow, we have the Lotus Series. And the next gen Lotus is going to be at Indy. We're going to be at Indy tomorrow in the Lotus. That's going to be fun. It could be wild. We'll see. Anytime we've been at Oval for a Lotus race, it has been pretty crazy. And for the next gen, we will be at Pocono. So Indy for Lotus and Pocono for next gen. That is tomorrow. Lotus has not disappointed on ovals. You're not going to want to miss that race. You see some traffic up ahead of Watkins, but I don't think he's going to catch that before the race is over. He should be good to go as long as he don't make a crazy mistake. He will be driving into victory lane for the first time this season. He has not won this season. As he goes around turn 6 and then the final turn. As the white flag waves. One more lap here at the Glen in week 7. And Watkins has dominated the day. As he has an 8.5 second lead over the 52. So he's going to cruise past the start finish line and get his first win of the season. And lucky for him, this is the last lap because he was going to have to deal with this traffic. As Watkins goes around the last turn. Devontae Wilkins wins at Watkins Glen in week 7 and gets his first win of the season. Congrats to the 033 and Northern Lights. They have been on a roll today. In second, Tyler Grimm's. Third, Thomas Noble. Fourth, Gunny McGuire. Fifth, Morningstar. Sixth, AJ Stryker. Seventh, Chris Harvey. Eighth, Trunyon. Ninth, Lizzie McGlover. And rounding out your top 10 is Bob Harlow. It's been a great one here at the Glen. The Glen is a tough track, but we'll be back at this track in a few weeks. And like I said earlier, there's one more big progression window before we come back to this track. So drivers can take some notes from this one and make the proper adjustments for the next one. But today, Watkins took all the shine in week 7 with a dominating performance. Well, we'll see what we get tomorrow. It should be fun, Lotus Next Gen. Looking forward to that. But it's been a good one here today in week 7 at the Glen. Congrats to Wilkins. And like always, thank you for supporting the stream and the league. I will see you guys next time.